Hi, I'm Rob the accountant. How's everybody doing today? Let's jump right into it. Elon Musk, America. Is this your boy? Does this guy speak for us? Does this guy offer us freedom of speech? Let's count the many, many ways people in America try to adore a complete moron. Now, let me preface that by saying that just because you have money doesn't mean that you're smart. And just because you have money doesn't mean you're a good person. Just because you have money does not mean you have a good soul. Just because you have money doesn't mean you help people. Just because you have money doesn't mean you don't discriminate against people. Just because you have money doesn't mean you run awful companies. These are just things that we have to get over and stop looking at somebody purely for their wealth. So, the thing is, Mr. Musk, let's talk about him. Elon Musk, born June 28, 1971, is a business magnate. He was born in Pretoria, South Africa. Pretoria, South Africa. That's not South America. That's not North America. That's South Africa, right? And so my issue is come to America. Have your family come here. I mean, I am blessed to be born here. I mean, this is really the difference, right? I was born here. He wasn't born here, okay? But I appreciate being here. Sometimes it doesn't always work out for all of us. It's not always easy for the majority of everyone. But the pursuit of having the opportunity is what makes America great. And yet lately, this is the guy that jumps into everything. He buys Twitter, $44 billion for a bunch of servers in the name of free speech. But he doesn't ever talk crap to people in South Africa. Pretoria, South Africa as a country has a history of apartheid, right? So he doesn't go out and talk crap to them. He just talks shit about Joe Biden, right? He sits down with Ron DeSantis because he wants to be somebody. So I just want to say to America, is this our boy? This is our boy, a guy who's not here, who, when he goes to China, he doesn't have anything to say to China. In fact, I'm going to show you, this is the Global Times. A lot of people will say it's a mouthpiece or a propaganda piece for the Chinese people. I agree. I think that was evident in Congress a few weeks ago. But Musk has been there for 44 hours and there hasn't been any tweets. Everybody's noticing. It's not just me. And here's the thing right here. This is on February 28, 2023. And this is from China. A state-run paper in China suggests Musk is biting the hand that feeds him by posting about a lab leak theory for the source of COVID, right? Oh, wait, we haven't even jumped to there. And we come over here to another one. This one is now December 26th of 2020. Media report about Tesla Shanghai Gigafactory suspension is inaccurate. So if you guys want to take some time and go look, Musk basically employs a lot of more people in this factory than American factories. And it's kind of strange because there's a lot of labor disputes, and I won't get into that. Everyone has a problem when they're working. I don't work for Tesla. I don't know what the outcome of those disputes are. So I don't want to, smash the guy for, any problems at his company. But my personal view is I just don't think he's a real big guy for minorities in this country. I mean, I don't see him palling around with nobody. He sure doesn't have any good comments for anybody. The company he keeps is kind of very hostile to everybody. So, but look here we go. This is again the Global Times. U.S. electric car maker Tesla, this is a U.S. company, right? Told the Global Times. Yeah, think about that, folks. The company in Texas, right? the Lone Star State, Texas, told the Global Times that the requests about his Shanghai plant suspension are inaccurate, right? So he bends his knee when they come calling, right? That's just the facts. And so let's just talk about his character. I mean, hey, I watched the trial like everybody else. Hey, it is what it is. I don't need to say nothing. The newspapers got it. Everybody gets it. But I don't think you're a cool dude because you go, smash other people's wives. Now, the next subject, I have 2 children. I have 2 children that are about 6 months apart. And, I was 19 years old, and there's really no excuse. Let's just put it out there. I haven't had any more kids in there that I know about. Maybe there's somebody out there. I don't know. Who cares? But let's talk about that. People who raise their kids. Are you a parent? Do you love your children? What do you do for them? How do you create an environment for them? A loving family environment is comprised of 2 individuals that love their children and can raise their children in support. So let's see how he does in that department, right? 10 children, right? 10 children. So you can be a great father when you're a billionaire, right? You can go palling around in China and watch in the next few days. You are going to see the results of that meeting with the Chinese. And you're going to either see Musk go hardcore on Democrats or snoozy up to Republicans. He's going to have a play based on what the Chinese people told him, because his factory is in China. It's in Shanghai. And it's a big factory. He can't afford to lose it. But what I want to say to you is this is, back on the kids real quick. These are the people. You can go to the page. You can't get mad at me, Mr. Musk. I already think you're a moron. So you can, and I don't really like to call people names. I want to be clear on that. I have no ill will. We can get into a fight with people. It's cool. I'm not a name thrower. It's just not, but when you make me angry, and when you start trampling on other people's rights, when you start, leaving other people behind, nobody would come out here and judge your conduct. But you are the instrument of electric vehicle policy in the United States of America. Hydrogen in China is what they're using, but you're employing their people and they know it, and they have all the battery tech. So they are using you. And you don't come back home. Well, I don't know, where's your home? Is your home America or is your home South Africa? And, a few other people have commented on the government money that you get. Yeah, you did. You get a lot of money from the government. Let's not pretend the U.S. government isn't funding your projects. They are. But let's go back here on the 10 children's names, because it doesn't matter that you can have 10 children, but you can't have 1, 2, 3, however many, who cares? You can't have all these women and all these kids and be a good father to everybody, right? While helping China, while running around, doing whatever you're doing. All I want to ask America is why? Why are we listening to this guy? There are other billionaires in America that we can follow. If folks are intent on following a billionaire, follow a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? But why this guy? What enlightens you about his character? What enlightens you about his pro-American stance? Okay, 44 hours. He's been quiet on Twitter in the name of free speech. Got no problem smashing everybody else on Twitter. He doesn't even talk about the Uyghur. I know I'm saying that wrong. In China. He makes no mention. And you know why? Because he's a pawn of the Chinese government. You know why? Because he's not truly an American. He's not born here. When you're born somewhere and you really like your country and you believe in your country, and regardless of whatever your ability is to get somewhere else, don't you go back to the country you love? I'm not fleeing America to go somewhere else. Are you? So if you're not, why is it okay for him to flee his country, and then he comes in here and he points his finger at us just because he's gotten us to slave for him to make his cars? He's lied. Go look at the auto driving. Go look at the suits, folks. Go look at the DOT. What I'm saying is he's no different than any human being. He's made a lot of money, and he can't just go home and raise his kids. He's got to be out there. And, I don't know who's more dangerous, him, Trump, or DeSantis. Yeah, I don't know. But what I'm saying to you is I would really like people to start asking this guy, whose side are you on? Because the side that you look like you're on, it's on their side. Because you don't talk about them. You don't say nothing negative about them. Anytime they complain about something, your American company, our American company, Tesla Inc., jumps to the propagandists of the Chinese machine and responds forcefully. Because you know what happens in China, right? When they switch the switch, right? All that factory, it doesn't matter how powerful you are. They have an army. You're not going to do nothing. When they want their factory, they need you for the factory now. You're the way you're the bridge. You know that thing where they say that companies come in and they use the employees, and people, Americans who work know this, use the employees who are there to teach their outside competitors their job so that they can be fired 6 weeks later. That's what the Chinese are doing to you. You're being used. But your head and your mind is so into you, you don't understand it. But what I want you to do is I want you to go back and I want you to start advocating for where you were born. Go back to South Africa. Go help them. Go help rectify all the problems of apartheid in South Africa, right? Why don't you go do that? I don't really care what your mission is here. You're as old as me. And so you're this idea that you were living in a country under some type of massive repression is just a ridiculous position, right? There's nothing. You have money, and money buys its way into America. Americans, if you have $500,000, you can buy an immigration visa from the U.S. government. You need to invest $500,000 from any country outside the country, and if you have $500,000 to invest in America, they will give you a working immigration visa. I'm not opposed to that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people who get here with cash, and there's a lot of people who get here by the way of desperation and hardship. And what I would like Mr. Elon Musk to stop doing is being a moron. Go take care of your children. Go raise your 10 little bambinos. Make them good human beings. And decide your allegiance. Are you with us or are you with them? Because what I think is going to happen in America is one of their guys, because there's so many of them, they're so smart. And he's so in his head that they know how to get to him. They know how to implant things into his company and into his cars, into things that go into our defense structures. And I wrote a letter to Boeing about this when they were launching their Gemini project. We need to really start looking at who in America, and I'm pro-defense here. I'm not somebody who's going to cut the defense budget at all. I would never cut a defense budget, not after what I've seen in Russia. But we need to really talk about the people who have access to critical infrastructure and who they're doing business with. I'm Rob the Accountant. I hope you guys have a great day. Maybe I'll be back this week. I don't know. I just think it's interesting that Twitter's quiet. Moron Musk is, over here on his knees, right? And his company, an American company, is kissing ass once again to the enemies of our country. I hope everybody has a great day.